Hey YouTube, Shobi here with a review of the Kamen Rider Wizard WAP Series 06, 7, and 9. Hurricane Dragon, Water Dragon, and Land Dragon. For those of you that are new to the line, WAP is Wizard Action Please, the line of basically action figures for Kamen Rider Wizard that aren't collectible items like SH Figure Arts are. And they're actually really cool. So go back and take a look at my other WAP reviews if you haven't seen them yet. And I do urge you to check those out. So here we have 6, which is Hurricane, 7 Water, and 9 Land. 8 is Beast and the Chimera, which come in a set together. And I don't have those yet, so we'll get to those later on. But with these, we complete the set of 4 dragons, and we can take a look at Kamen Rider Wizard All Dragon as well. So we'll bring in Flame Dragon in a little bit and take a look at that. So to save time, not going to look at the packages. I'm going to jump right in. You can see the front of the packages anyway. Here's Hurricane Dragon being all green. All of these are basically the same figure, sans this upper body portion right here, all featuring their own unique little style. With Hurricane being a kind of a triangle shape, so you got the triangle emblems all around his body. The green uses a nice pale matte finish, and I really do like the way that it ends up looking overall. All these have the same basic articulation as well. Head is on a ball joint. You can swivel right there, and then a hinge, a swivel at the bicep, single joint at the elbow. You get full rotation at the wrist. You can open this up to have 2 little sections of fingers, so 2 fingers on each hinge. Swivel there at the waist, no ab crunch or anything like that. Wizard driver right there. These are pliable, so just kind of be warned if you decide to be crazy. You could have a water dragon that ends up like this because he fell over on my table like this and decided to stay there like that, and now his skirt piece is all floofy. But that's fine. And then you also have a basic articulation system in here with a swivel and a hinge. Swivel at the thigh, single joint at the knee, and then a ball joint, ball and socket joint ankle down there. So lots of articulation. Each ring is painted their appropriate color. Generic here, and then generic emptiness along the sides of the wizard ring holder. Water is a cool diamond design, diamond in shape, not diamond as in the actual jewel. That's for Infinity, which I have pre-ordered, and we'll get him soon. Pretty neat. Again, you got the whole diamond shape through there, throughout his chest, his helmet, shoulder pads. Very nice blue. I like this blue. It's not vibrant, but it's not obnoxious. It's a nice subdued blue color, and I think it looks really nice. All of these are a more calmer tone than they are in the show because the texture on the coat in the show is very glossy. It's very shiny. So these ones are a little bit more subdued than they are in the show. So there's Water Dragon. And then here's Land Dragon, falling over, being all Land Dragon. Very cool. I do love Land Dragon. He's my favorite of the 4, just because I'm fond of the color yellow. And I just love how bright he is. He is very yellow. We don't have a rider that's this yellow. So I think Land Dragon's really unique in that aspect, and I really like him for that. So pretty cool. He is a square design, so squares all along through here. And very cool. So you might have noticed that each each dragon form, rather, has specific slots. You got little holes right here on his forearm that the Drago timer can plug into. So you have that. You have the holes on his back here for the wings, the clip on the back for the tail, and a basically small little holes that push in, as you can see right there, for the special dragon head thing. So all of the components to make All Dragon are on all 4 of these. So real quick, I will show All Dragon in all of the formations just because I think it's fun. So there's Land Dragon. Each one comes with the WizarSwordGun, open-handed in gun and sword mode, being transparent. Yeah. So here's Water Dragons right here. Here's Hurricane Dragon's set. And here's Land Dragon's set. So just like Flame Dragon, all of them come with open-handed, so you can shake hands, versions of the WizarSwordGun. So you have all of those. Hurricane Dragon comes with the dragon's wings. So you basically take your Hurricane Dragon and plug the wings in. You'll hear a snap when they're lined up appropriately. And they won't move. So you know you did it right if they don't swivel. If they swivel, then you need to push them in a little bit more. Unless you want them to swivel, in which case, just go ahead. So here is Hurricane Dragon with the Wizard Dragon wings. It does make them a tiny bit back heavy. Water Dragon comes with the Wizard Dragon's tail, which is on a swivel right here, and then this part moves, which I find handy for making a brace. Since when you peg this in, just like that, he will become very, very back heavy. So I found it worthwhile to kind of bend this a little bit, just like so, and it'll act as a nice little brace for Wizard. So there is the tail, and then Land Dragon comes with the claws, which are pretty neat. You have to have him hold the claws, so kind of wiggle his little hands in there. Just like so, and then they'll peg into that slot I mentioned earlier where the Drago timer could go. So nice and handy dandy dragon claws. So there is Land Dragon with the dragon claws. I have no idea if you can fit the dragon claws onto Beast and kind of make that form that's going to be in the Hyper Battle video. So that'll be fun if that's possible. But there is Land Dragon with the claws. So now if we bring in Flame Dragon with the Wizard Dragon's head on there, then we can make Kamen Rider Wizard All Dragon. So let's go ahead and do that. All Dragon so far has always been seen as the Flame Dragon form, so we're going to go ahead and put them all on Flame Dragon. Okay, so we're going to start with the claws just because they're the last thing I took off of the figures previously. So push that up, lock that in, have him grip the claws. No different than attaching him to Land Dragon, just now you're attaching him to a big red guy. So attach that. The wings will attach right on the back. Like I said, make sure you hear the snap. Make sure that those are in. And then the tail will plug right in here. And like I said, is helpful if you actually attach it right. It is helpful to make that brace with the tail so he can stand properly. And now you have Kamen Rider Wizard All Dragon with all 4 of the special effects added to him, and he is all sorts of pretty neat. I like All Dragon. I think it's weird and crazy, and I like that about it. I like weird and crazy. I think it came in the show at a bad time. I'm not a huge fan of the Dragon form's function. Having a powered up version of your main thing with absolutely no drawback whatsoever kind of takes the whole thing out of the main elements. And then you get the Drago timer, so he can make 4 of himself, and then he can make All Dragon because, 4 of himself wasn't enough. And those are just the arguments I have about Wizard being not that great as a whole. But I love his design. I love this concept with the dragon pieces dangling on him. I think is very cool. And overall, it looks very nice. It still has all of his articulation. Nothing is hindered whatsoever. His waist swivel still works fully, even with that tail hanging off of the back. And it just looks really cool. I really like it. So let's go ahead and take a look at All Dragon as if it were other forms. Here's Kamen Rider Wizard Hurricane All Dragon. Not an actual thing yet, but still very cool. So if you like Hurricane form, you can attach all the pieces to him and make a nice little Hurricane Dragon. And here's Kamen Rider Wizard Water All Dragon. So if you're fond of the color blue, this might be the way of posing for you. Even though, again, he isn't official either. But it's still a cool concept that could technically be done. And Kamen Rider Wizard Land All Dragon. Probably my personal favorite. Outside of the red on the Wizard Dragon here, he fits in pretty well with all of the forms, no matter what you do. Land in particular, because of the gold accents, work really well against the yellow suit. So it ends up looking really nice on Land Dragon. But still really cool, and I like the fact that you can put the parts on any of the 4 dragons. So it gives you a lot of playability options. So are these worth it? Personally, I think so. By getting all 4 of these, not only do you have a great looking display, you have the ability to do all dragon, which is very fun on any 4 of these figures. Well, 3 are here. Flame Dragon still hanging out over here. The figure arts, there really isn't too much the figure art does better. You do get a lot more articulation on the figure arts release, but really outside of the ab crunch, there really isn't too much the figure art offers that I would miss. Outside of obviously more detail too. Like these are all painted and black washed and look very nice. The head is a lot more shiny and glossy and everything like that. But obviously you are paying a little bit more for the figure art than you are for the WAP series. So you have to keep that in mind as well. Plus, Land, Water, and Hurricane Dragons are Tamashii Web exclusives in figure art form. So you are going to pay even more for them. You're probably looking at least $3,500 on Mandarake, at least. Probably $4,000, maybe even $4,500, depending on how popular Wizard figure arts end up being. So it's really hard to judge right now how much they're going to be on the secondary market, but really why pay the hefty price for the figure arts when you can buy these, get the all dragon pieces for a much cheaper price, and it's probably a lot easier to work with these figures than it is the figure arts. A lot less to replace if they end up breaking, and probably less chance of breaking in general. But still very cool. If you are interested in the all dragon pieces, but don't want to buy all 4 figures, say you only like Flame Dragon and you don't want the other pieces, there is some good news. Premium Bandai has announced a WAP Series SP, which is the Special Rush Kamen Rider Wizard that was seen in the Ultimatum movie, which was just Flame Dragon with all of the all dragon pieces, but they're all cast in red as opposed to silver. So all these gray pieces on the various dragon limbs are all done in red for Special Rush. So as long as that doesn't bother you, that is a great way to buy only one figure and get all of the dragon pieces all in one go. So if you want to go that route, you can go that route as well. I don't know if I'm getting that release or not, since I have all the pieces already. They're just cast in a different color. But I'll see what I can do about getting that. And yeah, so very cool. It is a shame that these all came out at the same time. Hurricane and Water came out at the beginning of March. Beast and Land Dragon came out at the end of March. So March was filled with 4 WAP releases, and that was kind of obnoxious. So if you're following the line, then this was kind of a big dump at the end. But if you're going back and picking things up, then these are great figures to pick up. The dragon pieces are functional, they work well, they're easy to put on, easy to pull off. So really nothing to worry about here. Great figures for a relatively affordable price, and I have no complaints whatsoever. I like what they gave us. So you can check out shukenshinobi.com for this updates on my reviews and hauls, and of course check out Riders, Rangers, and Rambles, a podcast being latest token news and increasingly possible. And of course you can buy the WAP series and more Kamen Rider Wizard merchandise at cstoysjapan.com. So take care and have a great one. Bye.